Welcome to the Millennial Life Coaches podcast. At MLC, our mission is simple: add value to help you take on massive action towards your life goals. Here, we feature amazing coaches from all over the world, share compelling stories, and discuss proven practices to help keep your energy high and in the flow. Learn more about MLC at millenniallifecoaches.com.
Hello and welcome to another episode of How to Get Ahead with Millennial Life Coaches. I am joined today by one of our lovely core coaches, Hailey Rowe. Hailey is a marketing and sales expert. She works with all sorts of clients on all various areas of marketing and sales. And I'm really glad to have a catch up with her because I've not spoken to Hailey in so long. So I'm really looking forward to a really good catch up. How are you, Hailey?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I love the MLC community and I'm excited to be here with you.
How has well, let's reflect back over 2025. How has your last year gone? What kind of things have you achieved in your business, in your life? Give me a little summary since maybe we last spoke.
Sure. Yeah, this was actually a really big year. I had my best year of business. I have gotten engaged, which I'm super excited about. I've had a lot of clients who I love renew, which is very exciting. And so my renewal rates have increased, which I'm happy about. And I also have been really focused. I have a membership that I started about, I think, 3 years ago now, 2 to 3 years ago, and really starting to see the results of that and focus a little bit more on that than I have been in the past. So that's been kind of fun.
Mhm.
And also getting some unfortunate orthodontic work done. So I have rubber bands and braces in my mouth, which other people can probably see, but it's a long story, but had to fix something that a different dentist messed up and is
Oh
trying to get it all fixed before my wedding. So that's kind of been the summary of 2025 and of course to just doing all my normal stuff. Like I have a podcast called Health Coach Nation and we got in the top 1% this year on listen notes. I sing in a wedding band sometimes on the weekends, so I sub for two wedding bands, so that's been fun. And that's
my
the brief
God. So the
recap.
so the bands haven't stopped you doing anything. They haven't made you self-conscious about recording
Oh, they
or
sure
showing
have.
up or anything.
Oh, they sure have, but you have to show up anyways. So here we are. But now the reason I talk about that is because I totally get when my clients tell me, "Oh, I'm afraid of being visible or on camera, or I look old, or I don't like the way my, you know, face looks or whatever." I mean, I've always understood that because I used to deal with pretty severe acne and still sometimes, have issues with that, but it's gotten so much better. I've been working on it. But it's so I totally understand. And I know what it's like to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go live today, or I don't want to make this video, or you'll start to make a video, but then you're in like selfie mode and you see yourself and you're like, oh, I gotta get off of here. So I can really relate, and I think that the main thing is focus on what your audience needs to hear and focus on them more than yourself, and realize that, nobody, I hope, is expecting you to look perfect and be perfect all the time. And if they are, well, that's on them. So
Yeah.
we're not. So yeah,
Yeah, and everybody's got something they're insecure about or worried about, and you probably don't even notice that when you look at other people. So
for sure.
it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Um, oh, it sounds like you've had an amazing year then, and you got married and you got engaged.
I did. Yes, I'm so excited.
Amazing. What are the plans for that? Can you share?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. So we're doing our wedding in September of 2026. So we have a little while before it happens, mainly because I want to get more far in my teeth journey. But we've been planning everything. So we got, our photographer, we're doing it at a country club that I'm really familiar with, in our area, so it's nice and close and it's really pretty. And we are doing our save the date soon, so we're working on that, and I'm pretty excited.
Well, I bet it's all under control and perfectly planned with your strategy head on. You've got it all sussed, plenty of time.
Yes. Well, it's interesting because like it is my first time planning like a large event and a party, and I realize, yes, a lot of the skills in marketing and business and planning ahead and communicating is very similar. But then there's a lot of things that are I'm just like, I don't know, like there's so many decisions where I'm like, what color tablecloths do we want? Like I don't know what should I be doing? So some of it is definitely new territory, but we're getting through it. So
Oh, it's very exciting planning a wedding.
Getting ahead shouldn't mean burning out or following some outdated playbook that never really fit us anyway. That's why I wrote Intrinsic Leadership. It's a guide to help you reclaim your influence, align with your purpose, and lead with confidence without losing yourself in the process. Inside, you'll find stories, reflection prompts, and practical tools you can actually use to lead your life and work your way. You can grab Intrinsic Leadership on Amazon, Audible, or bookshop.org. And a huge thank you to Millennial Life Coaches for featuring me. I'm Melissa Castro, leadership coach, consultant, and author. Come connect with me on Instagram at intrinsicleadllc or find me at www.intrinsiclead.com. Let's level up and lead from within.
Hailey, what can you tell us about marketing at the moment? Like, as a whole, what is current right now? What are some, I don't know, not necessarily trending things, but like topical things in the world of marketing that would apply to a coach or a creative or an online business person? I'm thinking like, we've had the rise of podcasts. Podcasting is a
yeah.
great marketing channel. There's a lot of automations and a lot of AI coming in. What is on the horizon? What is in the marketing
Yeah.
world at the moment?
I am seeing a lot of success with threads, meaning, so
Ooh.
through Instagram, there's a way to set up a threads account, and threads is very much just short posts. Like it's not, you don't have to put a picture with every post, you don't have to put a video with every post or anything like that. It's almost like Twitter, but you can have a little juicier posts on threads. And what I like about it is how quickly you can train your algorithm to show you posts that would be really good for you to comment on and get visibility on. So,
Mm.
for example, I have tons of posts on my Threads feed that is like, hey, I'm looking to network with other blah, blah, blah types of people. Or, hey, does anybody know a great business coach? Or, hey, how do you guys like business questions that I can answer and add value to? So what's really nice is I can go to Threads and pretty quickly just start commenting on these posts. And I've had people, reach out through it. I've booked podcasts through it. I've booked summit talks through it. So it's a really nice tool. And the way you train your algorithm is you just use the search bar on Threads and start to type in things that you may want to things that either buzzwords your ideal clients would be using in their posts or words like collaboration or other entrepreneurs or things like that that could connect you with the right people or podcasts if you want to get on podcasts or bundles. So you can put that kind of stuff in the search bar, start to comment on those. You can also say what kind of posts on threads you're not interested in seeing on your feed. There's a button that allows you to click that, and so quickly, you can just go right into threads and engage with people and make new connections and form new relationships that can lead to pretty cool opportunities. So I've been really enjoying that. And I like that the platform's just short and sweet too. And it's not like, you have to make a reel and it has to be edited and it has to be, you
Mm-hmm.
know, having the trending audio and all the things.
Do you find that then through when people find you through threads, they come through to Instagram?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes we connect through DM on Instagram afterwards.
Hmm.
Other times we just kind of comment back and forth on the threads post. But either way, it's linked to your Instagram, so it makes it really easy for people to find you.
Hmm. Oh, it's interesting you said that because Threads launched maybe what, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, boom, new platform, like hype. And then I
Mhm.
thought it died off. But you think
Yeah. Oh
now
yeah, I love it.
there's still potential there if you've got the
Mhm.
algorithm taught to show you what you need for your specific niche.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I would also say that, as far as trends go, some things are just timeless. Like LinkedIn, I've been using since 2018, 2017, and it still remains my best platform for booking calls, for connecting with collab people. So that one is like, if you're consistent with it and you're making new connections every week, and you know how to use the platform, it is a networking platform, which I like. So anything that I do, I really like opportunities to connect and build relationships. And I do post on social media, but I'm more so about let's connect directly with somebody, see where I can add value, see if I can, if we can do a collab swap or something like that with our audiences. And
Hmm.
to me, that's always just been more A, rewarding and B, fruitful. So
Hmm.
any platform I pick, and I'm a little biased, but it's going to be one where it supports networking, which is LinkedIn. It is a networking platform, right? Not to say that I don't post on Instagram or do that kind of stuff, but to me, it's just been a better use of my time to use platforms like LinkedIn and Threads and things like that.
Hmm. That totally makes sense. If you've seen um, growth and leads come from those platforms, it makes sense that you also offer that as a service and you support clients to also do the same thing. That totally makes sense. Is there anything new that you're adding in to your marketing? Any new platforms or tools or anything that you're kind of just trying and dabbling in that are quite
Yeah.
new?
Yeah, so what comes to mind, a couple things. One, I just signed up for the paid version of StreamYard, which is something that allows you to go live with a guest, and the paid version allows you to stream it to three places at one time, which is really nice. And it records it for you. So I repurpose my lives into podcasts. So I'm going to be working on that more this year. And then the other tool that, well, a couple other things I purchased recently. One, I've gotten Instagram verified. So when you're Instagram verified, they say, and I'll have to report back because this is still pretty recent, but they will show your post to more people. You'll have less likely a chance of somebody impersonating your account, which I've had in the past. So I wanted to get verified. Um, and that you will have more support if you ever bump into issues when you reach out to Meta. So I did sign up for that. And then I also, just not necessarily a purchase, but just more of a strategy thing that I'm going to be doing is, so I'm a big believer in how can you get in front of your ideal clients at once, many people at one time, right? So I do a lot of guest trainings. I do a lot of speaking and summits. I do a lot of speaking on podcasts, things like that. So my overall strategy for next year is going to be to do a monthly webinar. Now, most people, if you're just starting out, it'd be good to just do maybe a quarterly webinar because it's a lot of steps, right? But I have a lot of pre-made presentations already that I've given throughout the years. So what I'm going to really be doing is just doubling down on those, repurposing them, doing one workshop a month, sometimes free, sometimes as a part of my Work Smart Marketing Club as a bonus, kind of alternating between the two. And that's going to be just my plan, is doubling down on what has worked in the past, what presentations have worked in the past, and nurturing my email list. So if anybody's listening and they're trying to think about like, what should I be doing in this new year to grow my business, always start with, what do I already have right in front of me? What are my missed opportunities? What is something I can do better and do more of that I haven't explored yet, that's given an indication that it can work or that has worked in the past? How have I gotten my past clients? And really dig into that. But what I see a lot of people do is they say, "Oh, well, it's always been referrals." And I can't scale that. I can't do anything with that. And I'm like, yes, you totally can. You can have a referral program. You can launch it and make it fun and share with your past clients that if they refer someone, they get some kind of, incentive or something bonus or discount on services or commission, or which is basically like an affiliate program, right? So anything that has worked in the past, I'm always a big fan of just doing more of that and doing it better before you go on to, okay, I got to add new things. I learned that one from Alex Hermosi. He has like that more, better, new framework. And I just love that because that is literally what I've been doing the last, there's still so many things I could add, but the last almost, 8 years or whatever, I'm kind of been doing the same things and just refining them each time.
Hi, this is Jen from Life Coach Magazine, your go-to source for all things life coach related. We connect coaches with resources, inspiration, and practical tools to help them grow their business and make a meaningful impact. Whether you're just getting started or you're looking to expand your coaching practice, we share actionable articles, insights, and curated resources designed to support real progress. You can explore more and get involved at lifecoachmagazine.com.
I'm a big fan of content repurposing as well. So saying that you are gonna use your webinars, turn them into podcasts, and then probably use posts across multiple platforms and use them again later on in the year. I'm a big fan of that rather than starting from scratch, because your message doesn't really change that much. And if you've got a really good masterclass or a really good lead magnet or even just a really good idea, it's still a good idea like a month later or 6 months later. But I think people get worried about reusing stuff or saying,
oh my
again,
gosh, I
is this
know.
what you hear?
Yes, and repetition is your friend in marketing. It's not a foe. And the thing is, somebody needs to hear the same thing like because we're so bombarded with ads and everything, I've read it can go up to 77 times before it really registers and before they're going to buy from you. So one of the tricks that, especially on Instagram, if you have a reel you did 2 months ago or 3 months ago, and it got some engagement or somebody commented on it or it, led some people to sign up for your lead magnet or something, take it and reuse it 60 to 90 days later. It's not a big deal. And the other thing we forget is like, if you have, I don't know however many followers, chances are, at least on Facebook, like 6% of people will see your post. Instagram stories, like 2% of your followers will look at it. The newsfeed, not everybo's seeing it every time. So I take the same post, I put it on all the platforms, I reuse posts. I also like to take one post and try to go like deeper rather than wider, meaning let's say you had a post about 3 ways to, I don't know, I'm just going to make something up if you're a life coach. 3 ways to stop arguing with your spouse. Well, you could take the same topic, arguing with your spouse, and a different day you could tell a story about an argument you had and what had to shift to change it. And then you could take one of the tips that you went into the 3 tips about and just do a longer post about that one tip. And then you can take another angle by saying, here's take one of the tips and say, this is a myth about what you should do when you're arguing with your spouse, and here's what you should do instead. Or you can take maybe like story tips, objection busting post, which could be, I hear so many people say, I don't think I can stop arguing with my spouse because blank, and tackle that objection. So there's a lot of use you can get out of just one idea before you have to completely reinvent the wheel and come up with brand new ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And there's probably about 20 different, offshoots and smaller posts you can create from like one idea. What I hear people say to me is that they just run out of ideas. They run out of ways of saying the same thing again and again and again and again. Is there any way that, or anything that you use to basically say the same thing, but in a different way for the 100th time?
hmm So what I like to do is I like to ask, what are the top 3 to 4 themes you want to be known for, and use those as content pillars. And then under each, so that you never run out of ideas, under each of those pillars, write down either things that you've heard your ideal client say that's a problem or that you want to help them with. Write down FAQs about that topic. Write down concerns or hesitations people have about that topic. Write down any stories you could share about that topic that prove a powerful lesson. Write down any credibility you have within those topics that you could share one day about why would people want to, trust you about this topic, things like that. And you can take that also to ChatGPT and say, help me come up with more angles, more ideas, and give it guidance on the types of posts, like the types of posts that you're looking for. So, I'm looking to have some value-based posts, some that are more like posts people will want to share and engage on and tag friends on, some posts that are storytelling, some that talk about address like objections people have and shift beliefs, things like that. And it will come up with so many things. So there's really unfortunately, there's no excuse anymore to run out of ideas because we can give ourselves prompts. So that's the other thing. You could also Google or ask ChatGPT, can I have prompts to give me some prompts today about helping my niche? Here's what my niche is. Here are my content pillars. Can you give me some questions or ideas for content or posts?
Mm-hmm. So it's bringing the AI, bringing the chatbots in and getting them to do that repetitive work for you, essentially.
Yeah, and you don't have to have them write the whole post if you don't want to, but just saying, give me some questions or prompts as if you were my content coach, to give me ideas for posts today because I'm stuck.
Mm-hmm.
What I also like to do is I keep on my phone notes so that it's easy, it's accessible, I can look at it anytime. I'll jot down little ideas or hooks that come to me.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I can't work on the post right now, it's at least jotted down somewhere. So if I just had a client session, I actually did just have a client session before this call. And she said to me, this webinar feels so like I'm very relaxed about this webinar. And I'm like, ooh, that's a golden quote. So I wrote it down to say in a post, my client doesn't feel stressed about launching anymore. She feels actually relaxed. And here's why. We planned it. She has all the assets she needs. She used my template. She didn't have to reinvent the wheel with that. So that becomes a powerful post, right? So, or I'll be driving in the car and I'll think about, or I'll be listening to a podcast. This also happened recently. I was listening to a podcast about AI and they were talking about how jobs are going to be tough and blah, blah, blah. But one of the things they said was positions with interpersonal skills like life coaching are going to stick around for now. And I was like, oh, well, my ideal client would be interested in hearing that. So I wrote that down to share, wow, I heard this podcast and life coaches are here to stay. Yay, us. So Um, that can just be good to just jot down ideas so that when you're like, okay, I'm stuck, I need ideas for posting, you can go back to your list.
Yeah, I do the same thing as well with the notes on my phone. Like
Mhm.
anything that stops me when I'm scrolling through and I'm like, that's managed to stop me. Like I'm gonna steal their hook, or how have they structured their caption? I'm gonna use that as well. So I do
Mhm.
the same thing. Amazing. Um, Hailey, I also wanted to ask you about this term passive income. So, like with your sales strategist head on, I'm sure people have spoken to you and you've explored this concept before. Can you, like, for anyone that maybe hasn't come across it or has come across it and maybe doesn't fully understand it,
Mm.
um, passive income, passive sales, I've heard it called
Yeah,
leveraged income. Can you just kind of give a little
for
overview of
sure.
what it is like from your point of view?
Yes. So to me, there's no such thing as truly passive income, meaning anything that you make money from at one time or another, you had to set it up or you had to make the decision to invest in that fund or company or stock or whatever. Like there is a time when it's active. So I think a lot of people come into this world with that word and they think like, oh, amazing, it's so easy and I don't have to do anything ever. No,
Mhm.
there is no such thing. Stop thinking that, or you're just already putting yourself at a disadvantage. It's going to be active at one point or another. And there's going to be maybe times where it's more active, like maybe even just with investing, not business. And I'll get to business in a second, but like you check periodically, is this going well or do I need to sell some of this stock or whatever? It's not fully passive. So just to clarify, it's never just fully passive, but what it does mean is maybe there's something that allows you to make money more easily because you set something up once and then it keeps producing revenue for you. Like you may set up a digital course once and that keeps producing revenue for you. And maybe there's a live component to your coaching too. Like for me, I have my inner circle program, which is definitely has resources and materials and step-by-step guides to help people with starting and growing their business. But what accompanies it is active work. I'm answering their questions. I'm live coaching them. They have daily access to me, things like that. So I paired something that's passive because I set it up, and it doesn't mean I don't go back and change it from time to time when new trends come out, or, like I just made a new section, like a video about threads because threads wasn't around 2 years ago, right? So, but it's nice because that library or that portal that I've made has helped thousands of people at this point and can continue without me being in there every day, like, oh, I got to make a new worksheet or whatever. So I think it's good to think in terms of how can I efficiently set something up and reuse it? That's a good question to ask yourself. Or same thing with my webinars. Those, I mean, yes, I'm actively leading webinars, but I made them once and I've led them hundreds of times now and just reusing the same webinar. Or setting up an email funnel, like
Mm.
people opt in for some kind of freebie that you made one time, and then they get automatic follow-up emails that you made one time that keep producing sales and calls for you, which is really nice. So in the coaching world, I think we just need to expect that anything we're going to do is going to be work, at least up front, and go in with that mentality because I really don't like it when people are like, I just want it all to be passive all the time.
Mm.
No offense. I mean, it's great. I do too, but just I haven't found that to exist. But I think we should think in terms of how can I, whatever I do, how do I make it the most efficient? How do I reuse it? How do I automate it so that it
Mm.
can be really smart and be working for me ongoing?
Mhm. And I feel like a trap that maybe I fell into, hearing this passive income, you know, easy way to make money, um, was, yeah, it's active in the beginning. You set it all up, you put it out into the world. Then the active part is almost the marketing, the keeping, adding people into the funnel, the keeping
Yeah.
visible, keep getting in front of people's audience. The active part then becomes the marketing rather than the delivery of the
That's a good point.
service.
Hmm.
So, so it might be that a lot of your services and offers and things can be quite passive, but you will still always need some form of marketing, which is very active.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, there can be parts of marketing that are passive, like you can m- repurpose a podcast and reuse it and have someone supporting you with that. But or you could set up a funnel like we talked about that's automated,
Mhm.
or have a bot, like you could use ManyChat to send people messages or something.
Mhm.
So there are things you can do that make it a little more passive. But yes, if you want to have an active, thriving business, I think you need to be active in marketing and putting it out there and all of that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. You've mentioned automation and email marketing and having an email funnel. I know you have a couple of freebies that relate to that. And if we can maybe put one of them in the description, your From Crickets to Clients um,
Yeah.
masterclass is such a good starting point. Who would be the right person to watch that, or who would be the right person to get something from that masterclass of yours?
Yes. So if you are an aspiring coach or a coach already and you want to grow your clientele, the free From Crickets to Clients series takes you through a funnel formula you can use, and it doesn't require that you're super tech savvy or anything like that. And you can even take the tips I give in that training without an email funnel and just start using some of them to grow your interactions with people and grow your audience. But the whole goal of that training is to show you what are the components of a funnel, meaning taking somebody from being a stranger to you to actually signing up for your service, and how do you implement that, and how do you get people interested in being in your world with a really compelling lead magnet or freebie where you collect their information, like their email and their name, in exchange for some kind of free gift or something like that. Because at the end of the day, you may be thinking, well, email marketing's dead, or I don't really, I just want them to follow me on social media. But at the end of the day, the email marketing is one of the best assets that you can have in your business because we cannot rely on social media forever. They may go down, they may make changes. The people are following 10 million different people, so you're just in the noise of they're not paying that much attention to you on social media. So I do think having an email list is really important, and that training takes you through how do you start that? How do you grow that? How do you nurture your email list? What do you say to them to make them interested in your services? So that's available at haileyrowe.com/live event. And it's for any coach who really wants to grow their clientele and their audience.
Amazing. So anybody who doesn't have an email list and wants to start one, it will walk you through literally everything you need to know, and we'll make sure we put that in the description below this episode for anyone who wants to check that out. That would be, I bet some people have that on their goals for 2026 to actually begin email marketing and grow a list. So that would be a perfect place for them to start.
Hmm.
Um, Hailey, what have you got on your goals for 2026? What's on the horizon for you besides getting married? Maybe for the business plans have you got?
Thank you. Yes, yes. Well, definitely to continue growing and working with more coaches and helping them on their entrepreneur journey. And for me, that looks like I'm really just focused on two offers. I mean, I do private coaching, but the two main offers I'm focused on is my private and group hybrid program, which is called the Inner Circle, and my membership. And it feels just so good to just have two very clear focuses. I've been running these now for several years. It's kind of like I'm in a stage where I'm just enjoying the focus and the simplicity of that and
Mhm.
not getting distracted into shiny objects and 10 million different things. And so I just really want to keep improving and refining those two things.
Mhm.
And ideally, I want to get up to 100 members. I'm not there yet, but that's my goal for the membership. And then, of course, to continue the podcast this year, I want to make my goal. It sounds kind of weird because anybody listening that listens to my podcast, like to me, I want to like love every episode of my podcast. And right now, I don't. It's kind of just been a repurposing tool, to be quite honest. I know that's really bad to say, but like it's just been not as intentional as I'd like. And in the new year, I want to make it more intentional. I want to like love the episodes. I want to share more personal things on the episodes. I just want to put more thought into it. So that is one of my goals as well. And to collaborate more, continue collaborating, being a part of bundles, summits, etc. I'm excited to hear MLC share some exciting news they have planned for the new year too. Um, but yeah, that would be another goal for sure.
Yeah, so we've got our MLC summit in March this year, which you're going to join us for. All the core coaches are going to be part of it. It's going to be a four coaches online event over 3 days. All the details will be below, if you want to sign up. But it's really going to be an event that brings all the coaches together in one place and focuses on connection and networking and having some of our biggest and best coaches in the industry share their knowledge with us. So it will be, yeah, that's a big event for MLC this year, and I'm really pleased that you're going to be part of that as well. So we're looking forward to that. Um,
Yay.
Amazing. Oh, you've got loads and loads on the cards then. And podcasting is such a lovely way to connect with people and properly have like, I want to say like more deeper conversations because social media is so quick, and they're all
Yeah.
such little bite-sized pieces. But a podcast or maybe like a YouTube video, it's sometimes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you really get to dive deep on a topic, which I really love. And so, yeah, maybe having more guests on your podcast or more personal topics, you get a chance to dive deeper and it does feel more, I don't know, I get a lot out of it, having a real deep conversation one to one, and you forget that anyone's actually going to listen. Sometimes I forget that anyone's
Right.
going to listen. You end up opening up a little bit more, and I really enjoy it. So, yeah, I'm glad to hear that your podcast is on the cards for this year and you're really looking forward to that.
I am, yes. And it does give you kind of going back to what you said earlier about running out of content ideas. Having doing podcasts frequently, it really gets you in that mode of like, oh, I never have to run out of things to talk about. Because like even the questions you just asked me in this
Mm,
interview I could be like, oh, I could make more posts about here's why these are my goals for 2026. What are yours? And blah, 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 right? I didn't think of
mm.
that before. So it can be a constant stream of inspiration as well.
There's literally content everywhere. There's just
Mhm.
inspiration all over the place. Love it. Oh, well, Hailey, thank you so much for spending the time with me here and going into details about your marketing and your expertise and what's going on, how people can work with you. Where would be a good place for people to come and find you if they are not already connected with you?
Yeah, so feel free to say hi on Instagram. I'm at instagram.com/Hailey_Rowe. My name has an I in it, so it's HAILEYROWE. A lot of Haleys don't have an I. I also have HaileyRowe.com, the Health Coach Nation podcast, which is really for all types of coaches, but it started out in 2017 just for wellness professionals and kind of evolved and expanded from there. And then the free gift is HaileyRowe.com/live event. That's the free From Crickets to Clients class.
Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Hailey. And yeah, here's to a happy 2026.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.